Yes, I am so delighted that you all are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I always give people a few moments of grace before we get started. So just know, thank you for joining me on this Saturday morning. I definitely know that it's going to be some valuable time for you for your marriage. So I usually give people just maybe like 2 minutes of grace, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So happy Saturday. I hope everyone is doing well. Go ahead and let me know where you're coming in from, where you're from. If you're from Atlanta, I'm just really delighted to have you all here on today. We're going to have such a wonderful time. Wonderful, wonderful time. Wonderful. Albany, Georgia, Ebony. Okay, wonderful. So happy to have you here. Okay, Tiffany. Wonderful. So happy to have you here. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So delighted to have you guys here this morning. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Let's see here. All right, all right. So let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see here. Go ahead and share my screen here with you all. I'm just really excited. All right, let's see if I can share this screen with you guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right on in and get started. Thank you guys for joining me on today. Happy Saturday. And also too, this is interactive. So I want this to be, an opportunity. If you have any questions, feel free to write those questions in the chat. And I just look forward to hearing them. So feel free. I want to make sure that I'm in the right place for the chat here. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So we'll go ahead and get started this morning. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, so first of all, just as an overview, I think that one of the most powerful things you can do when it comes to success is plan on it. So I know some of the people who are on, they're already a part of my tribe with the Marriage Head Start Planning system. So this is kind of just that extra bonus for you all on this morning. And so let's go ahead and dive right on in. I just wanted to remind you that you definitely are in the right place. If you want to elevate your relationship, maybe change some things, and if you want to definitely be planful with your marriage. I always just give a brief introduction because I know everyone may not know who I am, but I just want to let you know I didn't come out of a corner. I've been doing this work for about 15 years, serving married couples through marriage and relationship education, and as well. And really for me, this is a personal thing. Like your marital success, it personally matters to me. I don't know, I just think God has given me a heart for this, a heart to see you succeed. But just a little bit of background, just to let you know I didn't come out of a corner. I'm also a psychology professor, marriage and family therapist, a family studies researcher, certified family life educator. I'm a wife of two. I'm really grateful for that. And then I'm also a mother of two. So how about you all? Where are you guys? Are you married? Are you engaged? Do you have kiddos? Are you hoping to have kiddos? So let me know where are you guys at? What's going on for you guys? Are you married, engaged? And if you are engaged, let me know the date of your marriage. Feel free to let me know the date of your marriage. I love to kind of get people on the front end. We're going to be talking about that on today. We're going to talk about the difference between marriage counseling versus marriage planning. Okay, so today is really all about kind of give you an overview of what marriage planning is. Okay, and then married 1 year. Okay, Martina, congratulations. Woohoo! Oh, Tiffany, you just got married 2 months ago. No kids yet, but looking forward to it. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Tiffany's so excited for you. And I think I mailed you a copy of the book. Oh, Ebony, you've been married for 3. Oh, we got a bunch of newlyweds. Whoop, whoop. All right. Oh my goodness. I am so, oh, Kim, Mary, we got some, oh, we got some seasoned married people up in the house on tonight. Yes, yes. Oh, Tiffany, I'm so happy that you are enjoying the book. Awesome, awesome, Mama. So happy for you. Woohoo! All right. Oh, Kim and Raven. Whoa, they got about 14 years up under their belt, 3 kiddos. All right, I got some teenage. You got a teenager? Okay. Woo-hoo. That's one of my friends. Actually, love her to death or to life. Awesome. Yes, thank you so much for let me know where you guys are from. Wonderful. So great to have you here on this morning. So delighted to have you guys here on this morning. All right. Now, so what, just as an overview of what we're going to be going over on today, we're going to talk about really what is the difference between marriage planning and marriage counseling. Now, I can do both, and I'm so grateful that we have so many newlywed young married couples on the line on today, because the approach for marriage planning, it is very preventative. Okay, so there's a difference between the two, and I'm going to talk about that. And then I'm going to talk about the foundation of a good plan. Come on now. And some of the things I'm going to just talk about, so you want to kind of hear me, because some of the things that I'm going to talk about will not be on the slide. So you just want to catch some of those things, okay? Because I think it's definitely going to be helpful, and it's also going to be something that you may want to integrate in your plan, even from my Marriage Head Start Tribe family, okay? Because we're going to talk about we're going to talk about a few other things when it comes to building the foundation of your plan, right? So, and then we'll also talk about, what are those 10 critical areas of marriage planning, right? And then, I'm gonna not just talk about it, but I'm gonna kind of give a small teaching on it as well, okay? And then after that, we'll talk about, if you're not a part of the tribe, the Marriage Head Start Tribe, I'll tell you the next steps that you can take for creating your marriage plan, okay? Because here's the thing, I'm gonna give you a good foundation on today, but the reality is that I'm a teacher too. I'm a teacher too, I'm a professor. And so, but the thing is that the most transformative work will be the work that you do outside of this time. And this is kind of a jump start for you with respect to your planning, but I want to give you an opportunity to go a little further, because the reality is that your marriage deserves it. All right. And then lastly, we'll have those questions, that question and answer time. Feel free. I'm here for asking questions. It could be questions related to the content, and then it can also just be coaching questions. Okay, I am here to serve you this morning. You got up on this Saturday morning with me, so here we go. We're about to have a good time. Okay, is anybody ready to have a good time? So put a good time in the chat. If you're ready to have a good time, I promise I'm not boring. If you're ready to have a good time, I want you to put a good time in the chat. I know I may be a couple seconds before you guys. Okay, good time. All right, good time. All righty. Woo. Awesome. So grateful that you guys are ready. Let's go. Let's dive right on in. And this is a quote. I'm sorry, I forgot to put his name here, but this is a quote from Dr. Miles Monroe, a wonderful, just powerhouse when it comes to the kingdom, and also a powerhouse when it comes to helping people with marriages and families. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but his work is. And he says that planning is one of the greatest signs of your faith. And it really is, because it takes the unseen of what you're hoping for and it makes it tangible. And so it's saying, not only do I believe it, but I'm planning on this thing to happen. Okay, I'm planning. I'm not just hopeful, but I'm planning on this thing to happen. Okay, and so for all of you, so here's the thing. I'm about to say class. I'm so used to teaching, but here's the thing. A lot of times when people get married, and what they have is they have a question mark for what it means to have marital success. It's just like, we're married. I know I want us to be happy, but what happiness looks like for them is maybe in their heads. It may be, oh, I know I'm happy if I feel a certain way, but they haven't cleared, most people now, but you guys are part of that exception because you're here on this training on this morning. But here's the thing, most people get married and then there's a question mark for what marital success means to them. They have no clue, they have no idea, but they may say, oh, relationship goals, oh, marriage goals when they see someone else, but they haven't written any goals for themselves. Come on now. And so when you don't have any concrete goals, we don't know what we're shooting for. We don't know. We have no clarity. And without clarity, it's hard for us to go forward in a particular direction. So here's the thing, for you all on today and all my Married Head Start Tribe family, I want you to not have that question mark. I want to erase that question mark. And I want to have some details to the question, what is marital success to you? All right. What is marital success to you? Now, let me put this into context. Let me put this into context for all my family members who are not a part of that tribe yet. Is that what we see is that having a successful marriage, it matters more to us than it ever has in times past, historically. So how people are doing in their marriages, it matters to them more than it has ever had historically. And not only does it matter to them more with respect to their quality of life, family, what we see is that it's like climbing a mountain, and the expectations that we have for marriage today are the greatest that they've ever been of all time. The greatest they've ever been of all time. And Dr. Eli Finkel from Northwestern University, he calls it the suffocation model of marriage, such that we have all of these great expectations that we probably haven't even clearly delineated, that our partner may not even know, that we may not even know, but we're judging the relationship by it, right? But we may not be giving the time and the effort that's needed to climb that mountain of marital success. So that takes time, that takes a skill set, it takes a plan too. So now we're in the era of the self-expressive marriage. No longer am I looking for you to just give me some cows, chickens, and babies, right? I want a little bit more than that. Some of those practical things, like such as shelter, food, things of that nature. Historically, that's what marriage was used for. But now, we've even moved beyond people just wanting to be in love and getting married. We want to be in love, and we also want to become our best selves. And here's the thing, is that your best self, your best marriage is something you have to plan for. We got to know what our targets are. Now, okay, you may say, hey, Dr. Bolar, hey, Cassandra, now, aren't you a marriage counselor? Aren't you a marriage counselor? Yes, I am. But here's the thing, it's kind of like being a heart surgeon. And I can do surgery. Yeah, I can do surgery, but I would prefer to get you while you're young and help you with your eating habits and help you with your lifestyle. Matter of fact, I don't ever want you to get on my table. I don't ever want it to be where you need a double bypass. Now, come on now. Here's the thing, family. How many of you guys don't want to have a heart attack when it comes to your health or your marriage? And I promise you, no lie, this week I got a call from a couple seeking counseling, and they were like, and honestly, I know it's desperate when the man reaches out. I just know it's an act of desperation. That's one thing that I've seen. So the husband reached out and he said, but it seemed very casual at first. He was like, do you have any classes that you have for relationships? And I was like, oh yeah, oh, this person's proactive. I was all excited. I was like, oh yes, of course I have classes. And he was like, yes, I really interested in, maybe taking one of your classes. I said, well, I was like, I provide a host of different things, classes. I provide, counseling or what have you. He was like, yes, we really need it. And I was like, oh, okay, so this sounds a little bit more serious. I was like, okay, I understand. He was like, yeah, think, like, could we see you as soon as possible? And I was like, oh, of course. He was like, and I was like, yes, of course we can do counseling. I can get you set up for counseling. And he said that because we're supposed to begin a divorce tomorrow. And I was like, wait, what? Come on, hold up, what? Like, and I'm thinking, like, today it was the afternoon. And honestly, this is the approach that a lot of people have toward counseling. Sometimes even at the premarital place, sometimes it's something just to check off the list. Okay, we did the premarital counseling, let's get married. Or oftentimes, this is what I see on the back end, is people say, well, at least I tried, I went to counseling. Or it's a last ditch effort to say, let's save this thing. And the reality is that people are coming to counseling a lot of times, and research even shows this, family, that people are coming to counseling and they've had 7 years, often they have been distressed for 7 whole years before they seek support. And so here's the thing, it's just like if I was a heart surgeon, it's like someone coming to me and they're on the verge of a heart attack. Matter of fact, they had a heart attack. And I'm trying to save the life of this individual. And it's the same thing sometimes with marital counseling. A lot of people kind of use it in a reactive sense instead of a proactive sense. Okay, how many of you guys on the line want to be proactive with your marriage? I want you to say proactive in the chat. I want you to say proactive in the chat. How many of you guys want to really be proactive with your marriage? Okay, because, all right, Ebony, all right, Kim and Raven, all right, Tiffany, yes. Because, family, here's the reality, is that your marriage deserves it. All right, Martina, proactive, yes, yes, mama. And so here's the reality, is that we want to be proactive so that we can prevent issues. So planning is just that. It's oftentimes something that you're doing in a proactive sense. It's not reactionary for the most part. Okay. Also, too, the goals are different. Oftentimes in counseling, the goals are, what do we want to fix? What's the problems? How can we stop the bleeding? And then, but on the other end, for marriage planning, the goals are really focused on, what do we want to go right? How do we want to steer our relationship? How do we want to steer our marriage? And oftentimes with counseling, you leave with tactics to stop the pain. And oftentimes with marriage, marriage planning, you leave with a strategy to create the life you want. Now I'm going to tell you, this is what Dr. Driver always tells me. She said, here's the thing, is that we are creating the lives that we are living, whether we're proactive about it or not. And that's something to leave you with, okay? And so I'm so grateful all you guys online today. I feel like you guys are being proactive, sitting in on something like this. You're not watching the tube this morning. You're engaging in this beautiful conversation with me. And so thank you so much. Also, too, they're very, oftentimes when you're doing marriage planning, especially early on, you're usually very hopeful. You're usually very happy. But oftentimes when people come see me, they're distressed, they're hopeless, they're unhappy. All right. Now, this is not the case for everyone. I think marriage counseling doesn't have to be reactionary. It can be proactive. And then it could be like, cleaning your teeth twice a year, things of that nature. But most people use it in a reactive way. Also, too, a vision for the future. Oftentimes, marriage counseling is focused on the past, trying to get over the past. And then oftentimes with marriage planning, we're creating a plan to divorce-proof the marriage. And then oftentimes for counseling, it's a last-ditch effort before the divorce. Sometimes people even come to counseling and they're not engaged. They don't even really want to do the work. They just want to say, oh, well, I tried counseling. It didn't work. They were too far gone. And that's just not the truth. Okay, now that we've kind of laid that foundation, now what is the foundation that I want us to lay for your for your marriage? So let's dive on in. And so for all my people, when we're thinking about that foundation, if you're a part of the Marriage Head Start community, you already have access to all the actual materials. But for all my people who are not, I want you to definitely take copious notes, okay? Copious notes. Because here's the thing, is that there is a reason that you two are together. There is a purpose. All right. And there's just this little acronym that I created. It's called the primary use, reason, and point of something's existence. And family, this is your anchor. This is your anchor. Such that when we're thinking about, there was a reason why you two came together. And I oftentimes look at marriage like conception, such that, you know, did you know that there's a male gamete and a female gamete? The male gamete is a sperm. The female gamete is the egg, right? The egg is the largest largest cell in the human body, right? And so here's the thing: gamete in Greek means marriage. Look at there, look at there, look at there. And when we join the egg to the sperm, we get a whole unique genetic code, meaning that now we have created a brand new entity. We have created a brand new person. But there's something unique about that one individual and that other individual. And now when we come to create this marriage, we take each of your individual purposes, and now there's a collective purpose. There's a collective reason. There's a value in the reason why your marriage exists. It is a life of its own. One component coming from one and one component coming from the other to create a brand new life, and that life is your marriage. And so when we're thinking about the foundation of your plan, I want to remind you that your marriage has a purpose. And it's usually become a better version of yourself due to that accountability, due to that friendship, right? There's a twofold purpose, right? And then also too, it's not just about us, but there's a purpose for us to affect change on others. Now we're thinking about the foundation. For everyone, I want you to really think about the uniqueness of your marriage. What are those unique things? What is that particular things that you're passionate about, that they're passionate about? Okay, because just like there's a mission and there's a vision, and this is kind of the prelude to that, thinking about all of these areas here, family. Okay, now, so reducing a problem, affecting the overall community. So we have to have a vision. This is the cornerstone, family. This is the cornerstone of your plan. Is that where do you see your marriage going? Where do you see not only like what is the vision? What is the long-term aspirational goal that you have for your marriage? We don't want to have the blinders on. Let's open our eyes and literally paint that picture. And here's the thing, the beautiful thing about this vision and creating these goals is that it increases your likelihood of achieving them. Research has shown it increases your likelihood of achieving it by 42%. I want the reality for your marriage being successful. I want that to be real for you. And I want to increase its likelihood. It's not just something that, it's a feeling. But we have concrete evidence based on the vision that we have. And that may change. So what do you see 10 years from now? What do you see 30 years from now? What do you see 40 years from now? What do you see 50, 60 years from now? And I remember Bishop Jakes, he was saying that sometimes some people haven't seen themselves at 40, 50, 60, 70. And so when they show up there, they don't even know what to do. But you're going to know what to do because you're going to have a clear vision for your marriage. And not only are you going to have a vision, but you're going to have a mission. Every good organization does that. So what's going to be the characteristic way that you're going to fulfill the purpose of your marriage? And so in addition to this, so these are the things that I want you to create. If you do not have one, I want you to create that vision, that long-term aspirational goal. I want you to create your mission. I also want you to create what's going to be your motto. What's like a little phrase that's your motto? What's your creed? What's your motto? And in addition, this is for everyone else, like in addition to these things, what are 5 core values that you want for your marriage? 5. What are 5? Is it open and honesty? What are going to be those pillars for your relationship? What are those 5 core values of your marriage those are the characteristics that you always want to operate in? Is it service? Is it honesty? Is it trust? What are those pillars? What are those characteristics? Okay, this is in addition to what I usually teach. Okay, so I want you to kind of write those things down, because this is the boot camp. This is the jump start this for you guys. This is the boot camp. Okay, and really thinking about the culture that you want to create. So these are some things like, do you want it to be deep intimacy, understanding, trust? What are your pillars? What are at least 5 core values for your marriage? Oh, this sounds proactive now. And then here's the thing, is that now we'll be able to measure ourselves. It's not about operating in perfection, but now I have a target to measure how I'm showing up. And that's what it's all about. And so that's the big picture. And so it really definitely it starts with you. Now, so I have a question. How many of you guys are ready for me to go into those 10 areas that you definitely want to have a plan in for your marriage? If you're ready, say, I'm ready in the chat. Say, I'm ready in the chat. How many of you guys want to go into those 10 areas that definitely need a plan and a strategy for your marriage? Brenda said, I'm ready. Tiffany said, I'm ready. Martina said, I'm ready. Kim and Raven said, we're ready. We're ready. Okay. I used to be a cheerleader. That's probably why I'm so hyped. Okay, so let's dive into these 10 critical areas. And the very top area, family, is communication. And the reason why I talk about communication is because this is your currency. So you need to have goals. What is going to be your characteristic way of even talking to one another? What are going to be your ground rules? What's below the belt? What are your rules for engagement? Because here's the thing. Oh, hey, come on. So here's the thing about these rules for engagement, is that they serve as safety parameters for you. And here's the thing, and reason why I start off with communication, because all the other areas of your marriage, you got to use communication. We're talking about finances, you got to talk about those things, right? We're talking about household responsibility, you got to talk about those things. And so we want to have a method and a strategy that's healthy, that works for us. And so what's going to be your style, or what every couple has a dance. And sometimes you chose that partner for a reason, because you're like, oh, I like to dance with you. Yeah, fun, they know how to do a two-step, you know how to do a two-step too. But sometimes you get in a place to where you're stepping on each other's toes. So we need to create those rules for engagement. Oh, that's a little bit too far. That's a little bit below the belt. Because here's the thing, and I want to normalize this for you, family, on this morning, is that conflict is inevitable. It just is. It's a part of the process. But one thing that we see for those married couples who are typically are happier than the ones who are not happy, is they're able to manage conflict well, and they repair effectively. So what is your partner's apology language? It's free. Get it online. Figure that out. What is their apology language? How can I use humor to lighten the load? Because conflict, it taxes us emotionally. And here's the thing, when we're thinking about communication, is that when we're thinking about effective communication, when you're at 100, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that's in control of your rational thought, it shuts off. So we have to have some time to calm down, a coping strategy, a healthy coping strategy. And so when you want to create plans and goals in these areas, remember, not only with writing down your goals are you more likely to achieve them, just the mere process of writing down your goals makes you happier. Just the mere process of writing them down makes you feel a little bit better. Okay, how are you going to handle social media? We call it fubbing. There's a whole brand new term, family, for when when you're trying to talk to your partner or anyone and they're distracted by their phone and they're like, yeah, but they're not really paying attention. Oh my goodness, that is actually called fubbing. Pubbing. There's a whole term for it now. Okay, so we definitely want to be present and engaged. And that's one of the best gifts that we can give. Research from a Harvard longitudinal study has shown that when we really engage and we're present and we're listening and we're engaging, that's actually restorative for our health as well as our partners. Now, these are the things you want to avoid in this area of communication. I can't go through this too deeply, but I'm gonna hit these 10 areas and then we're gonna move on. Okay, 1, criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling, all coined by Dr. John Gottman. We've kind of talked about this. These are predictive of divorce. We don't want to have these in copious amounts. So what do we want to see? Soft startup. Okay, I always say that, speak to the good before you have to speak to the bad. Address the issue, not the person. How did it make you feel? Use those I statements. What would you like to see instead? And find the time to discuss after you've cooled down, after you're not running at 100. Area number 2, family. Area number 2. And I think this whole COVID situation has shed a light on, this is not, our finances, its well-being is not just for us, but it's also for our lineage and what we're building. And so we definitely want to make sure that we're on the same page. And not only are we on the same page with respect to being good stewards and managing, but also having goals. So the second area that's very critical, family, for creating goals and a plan for your marriage, your finances. Okay, so and especially with respect to joint decision making in this area, right? We want to make sure we both have some influence. And here's the thing about money, family, is that money is not just money in and of itself. We all have a relationship with money. So for one person, money may mean freedom. For another person, money may mean security. And so not only are we dealing with money, but we're also dealing with our unique relationship with money, even based on our past, maybe even some things that we've gone through. So you want to definitely have that joint decision making when you're making those goals. What are your savings goals? What are your goals with respect to if you want to move, if you want to buy your first home? Like, what is going to be the timetable? What are going to be the action steps that's going to get us there? Okay, budgeting, joint, or how is this going to work? So that's the second area, finances. And then here, oh my goodness, this is what we want to definitely keep, because intimacy is actually also different from sex, family. Okay, they're a lot of times they're used simultaneously, but intimacy is a deep inner knowing, a deep inner sharing. And there's something called a love map. Okay, Dr. John Gottman talks about love maps, and love maps are it's like your partner's inner world, such that you know their favorite coffee if they drink coffee, their friends at work, you like have this and the thing about a love map is that it's always ever changing. But sex is also very critical because of what's going on chemically, and it bonds us to one another. And what's being released, the adrenaline, also too, oxytocin is released in copious amounts, and that is what bonds us to one another. God knew exactly what he was doing, wasn't he? And so what is the frequency? How do we have a plan for this? Mutual initiation. What is your erotic schema? What helps to make you feel romantic or in the mood? And then how will we use sex to connect? There needs to be a few goals in this area too. And sometimes, so here's the question. Everyone wants to know, Cassandra, what does the research say with respect to what's the good frequency? Here's the thing. Every couple is different. And here's the thing, just as long as both partners are happy with the frequency, that's fine. But what we see on average is that, couples who have sex about once a week, they, and people who have more than that, they don't typically have any other better relationship advances than those who have sex about once a week. But research shows about once a week. Okay. But if it is less, if both partners are happy with that, then that's fine. But it's a problem when one isn't. Now, okay, section number 3. The third area that you need to have a plan for is for your children. What's going to be your parenting style? How, each child, what are the goals that you have for each child? Because every child is going to be different. Okay, so if you have kiddos, what are your goals for that child this year? Even in your personal time with that child, what are some things that are some milestones that you want to help to usher them into? Okay. And then if you don't have kiddos, I know you got a few newlyweds in the house, what is your plan for timing? What do you want your parenting to produce? What's your parenting plan? How are you parented? How is your partner parented? But what's going to be your parenting plan for your family? This is so critical. This is about that next generation. And then if it's a blended family, there's some unique pieces there. Now, if it's a blended family, this is some of my recommendation based on the research. Okay. If it's a blended family, I don't know if any of you guys are blended families in the house, is that the non-biological parent is very critical that the children know that you care before you correct. So you're going to have to really be heavy on building a relationship, showing that you care and showing that you love before you can ever correct their behavior, because it's not going to be well received. Okay. So that's the third. That's the third area. Fourth area, faith and spiritual maturity, family. This is a spiritual walk. What are your goals with respect to prayer? Now, one thing research shows, family, is that praying together bolsters your marital satisfaction. Also, too, research has shown that when you view your marriage as something sacred, something special, something set apart, it's actually good for your marital stability and satisfaction. So how are you going to help each other grow in this area? How many times do you guys maybe just want to sit down and maybe have a Bible study together? How many times do you want to pray? Do you want to do it twice a day? Do you want to do it once a day? What does that look like? What does it look like? How involved are we going to be in church activities? That's number 4. Number 5, work, family, life balance. Come on now. Oh, especially in today's world, how are we going to keep this balance? What are going to be our goals? What are our boundaries for work? Okay. 6, household responsibility. We want to make sure it's a fair division of labor. This is important to plan for, right? And maybe one of your goals may be, hey, let's take some of this off of us. Maybe we can get some help one day. I don't know. Okay. Number 7, I want you to be around, but I want you to be healthy. This is critical that we plan even for our health and nutrition. What are our workout goals? What are our healthcare goals? How many times are we going to eat out per week? Okay, what are our goals in this area? Because I want to be with you for the long term. I always tell my husband, I said, Ronnie, you know what, you with me for the long term. I said, we have a bunch of centenarians in my family. So we have a lot of people in my family who live to 100 or older. My grandmother, she is 102. This is her second pandemic. So she was around during the Spanish flu. All right, isn't that something? But I told him, you're gonna be with me for a long time. So let's make sure we're healthy and mobile and all that good stuff. Okay. So that's that 8th area. And here's another piece, family, is that your marriage is an investment. We have to have a plan for keeping this thing going. And a lot of times people may say, well, why are date nights so important? Why is this so important? And I'm talking about just you as a couple. Okay. So there needs to be couple vacations or couple time as well as family time. And what does that look like per year? How many vacations do you want to take? What is going to be your date night schedule? Now, why is date night so important? I'm going to tell you from a neurochemical level why date night is so important. So what happens is that when we engage in novel activity, okay, that means something you've never done before. Let's say you go paragliding or you go, I don't know, skydiving with your, that may be out there, I know. Okay, let's just say you go roller skating or something fun. And it's something new that you've never done together. What that does is it releases adrenaline and it also releases dopamine. And dopamine is that feel-good neurochemical, okay? And so with that, we start to associate our partner with that feel-good feeling. right? And so just wanting to encourage you to do date night because you want to have those times for bonding, positive bonding. And I always say that with your marriage, there's the business part, like we were talking about before, with the finances, the parenting, all of that thing, all of those things. But when you're dating, when you're having fun, be each other's boyfriend, be each other's girlfriend. You're not stressed out. Try not to bring up those business related topics. Utilize them as a time to have fun. All right. So make sure you want to make those investments. How often do you want to maybe do counseling in a preventative manner? Not in a reactive manner, but in a preventative manner, right? Okay. I don't want to see it in y'all last minute, last second, right? Okay. I want to be definitely more proactive. And then lastly, this one is the most powerful one. And this one is in alignment with where we are culturally with the self-expressive marriage is how can you work on your dreams together? And that's actually a part of my planning system. Okay. My planning system. If you're interested in it, I'm actually going to tell you a little bit about it. I have some family members already on. My Marriage Head Start family people already on. I don't know if you've gotten to that point in the lessons. But is there a dream that you have that's in your heart? We all have a mandate on our lives, right? Come on now. We all got purpose. We all got something on us. And how can I use my partnership to keep hold me accountable? Or even if it's not something that's just individual, what about our collective mission? What about our collective dreams? Whether it's going back to school, starting a family business, outreach, personal passion. How can we do this together? And that's at that level of co-creativity that Dr. Les Parrott talks about. It's kind of like, this is like the highest level of marital functioning, where you're able to do these things together. And it's usually something bigger than yourself. All right. So that's what we have there. How many of you guys want to enjoy yourself so far? Want to move on? How's everybody doing? Can you say good? How's everybody doing out there? Were those top 10 areas helpful? Was that foundation helpful? Okay. I see good in the chat. Awesome. Yay. Good. Very helpful. I'm so happy. Wonderful family. That's my goal. I'm here to support. Okay. So and if you want to take some steps after this masterclass to plan for your marriage, this is a boot camp. Okay, you probably took some notes. If you're not a part of the Marriage Head Start family yet, I want to show you how you can. Because this is actually a system. You need to create your goals, but here's the thing. You need to be doing this on a continual basis. Planning for your marriage is not just something you do before you get married, because life changes, your seasons change. So just like every business casts their vision once a year in those 10 critical areas, this is what Marriage Head Start is all about. And so if anybody who's already part of that Marriage Head Start community, if you're enjoying it, can you say, I'm enjoying it in the chat? And if you started diving in so far. Yes, Thomas is enjoying it, Mr. Khalil. Awesome. So grateful. But if you're not a part of the community as of yet, it's a lifetime resource whereby Tiffany, I'm so glad that you're enjoying it. Woohoo! Awesome. So glad you guys are enjoying it, Tiffany, Kim, and Raven. Wonderful. So just wanted to let you know that there's a resource for lifetime. You have your quarterly goals, and I teach you a strategy. I teach you a system, okay, yearly. And then there are also exercises, 5-year projections. And then it's a deeper dive than boot camp was today with regard to defining marital success. What is your foundation of your roadmap? And then also too, we can't assume when it comes to love, how can you really teach your partner how to love you? Right? What really resonates to you with respect to love? And then marriage, you're making the most important decisions of your life together. So what are some effective decision-making skills? Then we go into those top 10 areas, but we take an even deeper dive, especially with the worksheets associated with them. And then I teach you the actual method. There's a strategy and a method for this planning process. And I teach you that in module 5. And then lastly, how do we set ourselves up for the long term? for a lifetime of marital bliss. And these are the areas. So those top 10 areas that we talked about, that's what the planning system will help you with. And so, when people meet with me one-on-one, that could be up to $150 per hour. So the modules, 6 modules in and of themselves, $900. Those planning templates, you'll have them for the rest of your life, being able to create that planning strategy. I promise you, I sat down with a marketing firm and, they just helped me with a strategy and charged me just this a good hefty amount just for one meeting. Okay. Also, too, you'll be a part of the online community family. We'll have that there. Also, too, suggested reading list, marriage affirmations. I mean, it. When you think about what it could save your marriage from and the proactive nature, it's worth way more than $1,000 and $350, right? And then, too, for anyone who would actually join live today, um, um, here, who would join me live, you will actually get a session with me when you join, from being a part of this webinar. It's just an extra gift to you. So total value of $1,500, but it's on sale for half off for anyone who's not already a part of the tribe. It's on sale for half off. And what you would do is you would just go through and put half off in all caps as your coupon code. Go to marriageheadstart.com, enter half off for your coupon code, and that's how we can get you started. So thank you all so much for joining. And I'm looking here because I'm gonna give us a few minutes, and if anyone joins on live, we'll definitely bless you with that. And as well as we'll also, in addition to this, um, um, I also have other free trainings and things of that nature. So thank you all so much for joining, and thank you for being proactive with your marriage. For me, that's what matters the very, very most. So, but this half off deal, it will be good until the 11:59 on Monday night. So if you are not able to, pull the trigger right now, then you do have some time to take advantage of this half off special. So thank you all for joining. Thank you for my Marriage Head Start tribe for getting this extra little pop-up training, hoping that is helpful. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Thank you all for joining me this Saturday morning, and God bless you guys. Bye-bye. You're so welcome, Martina. You're so welcome. Alrighty. Bye-bye, everyone.